What is up, world? You are in tune to the Cowboys Global Cast here at FFSN. And of course, you got your usual suspects. So, Shakes, tell me, what's the atmosphere like when we're talking about what happened in spring training with the Giants, man? Talk to me, like who shined in camp, and who are the names that we should be looking for?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like I was previously saying, it's a lot of excitement in the building. Um, with these players and the coaching staff, really, like they was trying to, make their mark on the team last season. And as far as this season, I feel like Wink has exactly what he wants to do as far as on the defense, and on the offense, they got exactly what they want to do as well. So now that they got the toys to do what they want to do creatively, I feel like it's gonna definitely go well for the Giants. But as far as like who's coming off, who's showing up in the camp, uh, let me see. I think like really the one that made the most noise was the late round rookie cornerback and Trey Ball Hawkins, as I call him. Now he come from a small school, right? But when you look at him and you look at the tape, he's very sticky. He's very sticky to those wide receivers, and it even showed up in the camp, whereas though he overlapped a few other cornerbacks to take a starting position eventually. Now the thing is, he won't be one of the guys that starts out like two corners. But when you get in that nickel package, he'll be one of those guys that's on the outside. So yeah, look out for Trey Hawkins, man. Trey Ball Hawkins is not no joke, and y'all gonna learn that real quick, real quick.
That's
But
interesting. That's not a name. That's not a name I knew. That's interesting.
Yeah,
yeah,
Trey
Trey
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
They actually have him starting at y'all left cornerback. Trey Hawkins the third,
Yep,
sixth round draft pick. Wow. Okay.
yep, yep,
So
yep, yep.
somebody's got him. So okay. So we got the two guys that I know in the like at corner Giants corners. So is
Yeah.
Adore, what is Adore Jackson? Am I saying that
Dory.
right? Adore.
You disrespectful. You're disrespectful. Yeah, Dory Jackson. I don't.
Adore
I don't. Right.
Jackson, and he's like
Uh,
he had a decent year, and I was heartbroken when they took Deontay Banks, at
mm,
24. That was like, to me, that was the last guy on my board that I thought was worth a first round pick, and them
mm.
have. So I would have thought those were the two guys on the outside. Is that not the case?
So yeah, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing: like when they start off, then that's what I was trying to explain before. When they start off with the two corners, it'll be Adoree and Deontay Banks,
Okay.
right? They the two
Yeah.
starting corners.
Yep.
But when they go into that nickel package, what they will do is they will slide Adoree inside at nickel.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
now you got Trey Hawkins on the outside and you got Deontay Banks on the other outside.
Yeah. So what
Like
kind
they
of
just,
what's Deontay Banks look like in camp?
oh, he's good, man. He's good. The
Yeah.
boy's a real deal, man. And the thing about it is, I'm from Baltimore, and he's from here too. So when you hear him talk, you kind of you like, is that Shake? Like we sound so much alike. So
Yeah.
I love the kid, man. He has so much energy, man. So much energy, and his attitude is, I'm gonna lock things down here. So I love
Yeah.
the way his mind frame is, and I love his energy and how active he is, and he's not afraid. So y'all gonna see a
Yeah.
lot of Deontay back.
I like it. I
So
like it. So, what about Saquon? I mean, he signed. He got his deal done. He was one of my first picks in my fantasy football league. I expect him to have a big year. How do you feel about Saquon right now, as it stands going into the season?
well, first off, man, the year that he came out in the draft, I led the troops in the Saquon Barkley or bust campaign, right? Like we had to have this guy because when you at number two, they always like, well, you should take the quarterback. You gotta take the quarterback. You can't take a running back at number two. But what I kept telling them is, he's not just a running back. He's a weapon. It's a
Yeah.
weapon of mass destruction. All right. So that's how I feel about him. I get him every year in fantasy league, and I'm gonna tell you, going into this season, I may have took it more personal than he did as far as the contract disputes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, how can y'all not cherish these running backs? How can y'all not pay these running backs? They are important, and especially Saquon Barkley for us, because if we don't have a Saquon Barkley on that field, well, chances are 90% we ain't gonna win that game. So he means that much to us. And as far as because of course we got Daniel Jones, and you would think like, well, he leads the troops, but yes, he does. But the reason that makes Daniel Jones so successful is the threat of Saquon Barkley.
Agreed.
Like when you see those rollouts and nobody's around, you're like, wow, Daniel Jones is just running with green grass all around, all around.
Yeah.
Why? Why is he running like that with nobody around? You know why? Because Saquon Barkley's on the other side of the field, and that's where the whole defense went in and they gave him the attention. That's why. So the threat of Saquon Barkley, just having him on the field alone,
Yeah.
it just pays dividends.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty remarkable what he's able to do with the passing game being as, I don't want to say bad, but it's just the receiving group has not been good. Has not been great there for a few
You can
years.
be real.
Right?
You can be real.
And I mean, it's just, I guess I'm trying to pay Saquon a compliment, right? And that's to say, it's pretty crazy what he has been able to do, considering that the offense has been fairly one dimensional, for a while. Now I know Daniel Jones, I mean, I feel like had a really good year, but I mean, we're talking about Saquon, so yeah, I mean, he's a beast. He's one of a kind for sure.
Yes,
And
he is.
talking
Pay the
about
man.
wide receivers, that's a great transition time. Jalen Hyatt, I seen in preseason this man is just running like Forrest Gump, wide open. Has he been doing this in camp? Have you seen this in camp a lot?
Oh, that was definitely another name I wanted to mention. Yeah, the speed is real. Yeah, for real. Like the speed is real when it comes to this boy. He's a speed demon. You can't keep up with him. You can
Yeah.
only hope to contain him. Like seriously, man. He's doing it to everybody in camp cause and preseason wasn't no different, and I don't expect regular season to be any different either.
Yeah.
His speed is just on a different level.
And I
That's
felt like when
Alabama.
we were watching him and we were evaluating, me and Tom both said he has straight line speed. We just don't know what his route running is going to look like. And that was the thing that I really wanted to see kind of equate. And I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if the Cowboys would have picked him up in the first round. I mean, I thought he was worthy of it. Jalen Hyatt was really worthy of it. And he was definitely in our 60 man when we had the visits. But route running, I think, was what I was more concerned with on Jalen Hyatt,
Mm.
and I was pleasantly surprised to see during the preseason he was running wide slap open. I love it.
Yeah, and that is the stigma of his recruiting process. But what people don't realize and don't know is when he came out of high school, when he was recruited out of high school, that was one of his positives. That was one of his traits was that he could run routes. So, he just wasn't asked to do that much at that college. And with that speed, you don't have to. Just go out, run a nine route, and go do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you know. So you can't really, and that's why I hated that process in the draft when they were saying, "Oh, can he run routes? And his routes crisp?" Well, I mean, look, man, and like he told them, I can run routes too. Y'all just ain't see it in college. So whatever you seeing now, he been had that in him. He been had it. Just now he has to really perfect it. He has to perfect it. He's not. It's not perfected, but he can run routes. So he's gonna amaze a lot of people because I think a lot of players and people are thinking the same way that you just said. Is that yeah, okay, I gotta beware of the speed, but he ain't gonna know what to do. He ain't gonna know where to go. He don't know his routes like that. But they're gonna be in a surprise. That's gonna happen Monday night too. Y'all sitting there smiling.
Yeah.
Y'all sitting there smiling.
So the way I feel about it is like I think everything that you're saying is true. I think there was a stigma that was unfairly, kind of associated with him in the draft process. But I mean, I don't even really think he has to come in and be this great route runner in order to improve that group. I mean, if you have a guy that can take the top off of deep, so basically like that group outside of Jalen Hyatt to me seems like it's like you have some depth there, but you just don't have a lot of, you don't have your Jamar Chase, right? Like you don't have your DK Metcalf, like you don't have that guy, but there's depth there, right? And I mean, bringing in Paris Campbell, like that's another decent piece, but it's more like possession, type guys. But once you add that guy that can just, even if all they can do is just take the top off the defense, that opens up everything underneath and in the middle of the field for all those other guys to do what they do. So I don't think that this is going to be, a top 5 group in the league or anything like that. But I think it's going to be significantly improved if he can just take the top off the defense and just do that alone.
And to your point, Tom, they added Darren Waller, who's another space hog in the middle, for tight end. So, I think that's a good assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as the weapons and the receivers that we have, I think it's more of get the ball in their hands and watch them work type of thing.
Yeah.
But when you have a guy like Hyatt and like you mentioned, Paris Campbell, and also don't forget a Darius Slayton, those guys can really open it up for everything underneath because you can't just pin your ears down. You know what I mean? Like you have to make sure like you have a safety back there, or you're gonna get burned. You know? So
Yep.
Yeah, we have some speed now. That's the thing about it. But like you said, we don't have that superstar where we gotta focus on him. Focus. Odell Beckham, we gotta get him the ball. He only had 1 catch today. No, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question. Going into this game, what are your deficiencies? What do you see that is a glare like, man, we've got to get rid for the Cowboys? The Cowboys could take advantage of this. What are your deficiencies? What are the holes that you see?
So I know y'all team like that because my dad is a hardcore Cowboys fan, and oh yeah, it's going down this Sunday. But knowing of your team, the main issue with us, the main problem with us is offensive line, and dealing with those Cowboys, those pass rushers, especially Parsons. Good luck. Good luck. All right. Good luck trying to have offensive line problems with that. So, y'all gonna give us some fits with the pass rushing. I do believe that.
Yeah.
But I want. Can I say this real quick though? Because DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean totally, DeMarcus Lawrence abused Evan Neal last season. Evan Neal has been watching tape. People has been talking to him. They've been telling him like, "Hey, yo, DeMarcus Lawrence, your daddy?" And he's like, "No." Right? So expect a different outcome this time because you can't just keep on getting beat up like that. I can remember when what was his name? Winston Justice from Philadelphia Eagles came into the league from what was it, USC? I think it was USC. And he faced OC Urinora for the first time, and OC had 6 sacks on him. That can't happen no more. Like, and then the next time he seen OC, he held him down. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be a man. You have to be a man. You can't let somebody just abuse you like this. And DeMarcus Lawrence abused Evan Neal last year, so I'm expecting a different outcome. I just needed to say that. My bad, Tom.
No, you're right. You're right because Evan Neal was one of the players that I want to talk about, and Evan Neal has his hands full against DeMarcus Lawrence and Sam Williams, because there's no drop off between Sam or DeMarcus, but they're different players, right? You're going to see Sam in pass situations, and you're going to see DeMarcus in run situations. So, and then the other tackle that y'all have, Andrew Thomas, he's been beat a couple times in preseason as well. So I'm wondering how well these tackles are going to hold up against the newly formed pass rush that we have, and because you got Parsons and Tank on each side, right? And then of course you got Mozzie and Jonathan Hankins or Osa in the middle. So that I think that's you're spot on with your assessment of where I think the trouble area will be in this game. Tom, what do you think? If any, our trouble area the Cowboys are going to have.
Well, let me get in.
Giants.
Let me get in one real quick question on the offensive line because there's one. Yes, one thing we kind of left out there. So, is it John Michael Smith? That's the center that they took.
Yeah, center. Yeah.
Right. So, what's the story there? What's he look like in camp? I mean, do you guys feel like that's going to be a pretty significant upgrade there too?
Yeah, absolutely. We was horrible at center last year. Seriously, it was horrible. So
yeah.
Even just getting above average would be an upgrade.
Yeah, for sure.
No lie, right? But this kid here, when offensive linemen, excuse me, come into the league, it's their eyes are wide open. That they seeing a lot of things and seeing things for the first time. Now, of course, he's gonna be seeing things for the first time. But here's the thing about JMS. He's been in college for like 6 years, bro.
Yeah.
like, this man is a grown man. So, he coming into the league a grown man with a beard and all. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the rookie wall that usually offensive linemen hit hard in the middle of the season. I don't think he's going to hit that. I think that because of all the experience, because of the COVID and everything, that he got an extra year. I think because of all of that, it's going to bode well for him going into the league.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be more. Not that he's experienced in the league, but more experienced than an average rookie.
Yeah, it matters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Vic, you were asking. Did you ask what's as a Cowboy fan, what am I concerned about the most?
Right. What are you concerned about with the Giants?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's the position group that we haven't really talked about a lot. That I think is is going to be the Giants' best position group this year, and that's their defensive line. I mean, I think that's a group that, by the middle of the season, end of the season, that's going to be talked about. Like if those guys, I mean, health, obviously, that's always, the biggest caveat, right? Like that's the biggest if. If that line stays healthy, I mean, I think we're going to be talking about them right up there with the best defensive lines, in the league. They've got big run stoppers in the middle. I mean, it's a complete line, right? They've got run stoppers in the middle. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, I think, is the other tackle. And then they've got burgeoning pass rushers, on the outside. Like I feel like a lot of so with Kayvon Thibodeau, I feel like people expect a lot of times these top flight, edge rushing, prospects, these guys that, kind of go in that top five, like the Will Anderson, this season type. They expect them to come in and just get double-digit sacks right away. And for me, I don't necessarily look at the sack totals because, I mean, like with Kayvon, you look and you say, oh, well, he only had 4 sacks. That's a disappointment. I look at where they came, and if you look at Kayvon, three of those sacks came in the last 4 or 5 games. So it's a lot of these guys, it takes them half a season, 3/4 of a season to really start figuring out and becoming that guy that they're gonna be, right? And so, I mean, I think he's easily double-digit sacks this season. And is it Aziz Ojulari? Am I saying that right? Is that the other guy? I don't watch a lot of
Yeah, you
TV. I
got it.
read, and so I just
No, you
however
good.
it is, I
Yeah,
say
you
it in
got
my
it.
head.
You got it.
He's another guy. You look and you say, oh, he had eight sacks. First year. He only had a few last year. If he stays healthy, the entire year. Last year he's double digit. He's double digit too. So they have two guys that if they're healthy for 15, 16, 17 games, you can almost pencil both of those guys in for double digit sacks. So like this is a stout group. I mean, I'm not talking to a lot of Giants fans these days, Shakes. Is that a solid take? Like is that how you see it?
Okay, yeah. So the main thing you just asked was how I see it, right?
Yeah. How do you see it?
So to me, and I mean you can argue it, but that's what I'm about to say. Arguably, right? Arguably, yes, it's the best defensive line in the league. To me, it is the best defensive line in the league. As far as the core, and you got Washington up there and everything, but like, I believe like we are the top because you have, as you mentioned, Big Dex, Big Cat, Leonard Williams, but then the reserves, man, is crazy, man. With Ashawn Robinson, man, he's just a run stuffer. That's all he do. Like he don't know nothing else but stuff in the run.
Yep.
Then Raheem Nachos, as we call him. He's another just run stuffer. You look at his numbers and as far as run stuffing, he don't allow no running. And then we got two young bulls in DJ Davidson and Riley. And we're talking about guys that's like 320, 350 pounds. You know what I'm saying? 350 pounds. Like I'm not allowing you to get past me. Now there's one thing. Like we had a guy Ellis, I think last year was his name, from the Ravens, and he was about 350, 360. But he was getting pushed around out there. I'm seeing him get laid down like a baby out there. That's not Davidson and Riley, man. Like these guys hold that ground. So right then and there, like the run game it's gonna be tough to run. Period.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the pass rushing behind it with Kayvon Thibodeau. Yes, I expect him to have a double-digit sack year as well. I watched every game, of course, and seeing the growth of Tibbs. Like you can see, even though he wasn't getting the sack, he was impacting the game.
Yeah.
He was pressuring. He was hurrying. He was causing the quarterback to get out of his stance and get out of the pocket. So he was doing all these things, and then the sacks came later.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I think that's what he really worked on as well in the off season, because that was one of the things that he said was, it's cool, and I think I had a good season, but I want those sack numbers to be up there. So I think a lot of it from him, really too. He didn't have a lot of pass rush moves. Not a natural pass rusher. All right, like he uses his athleticism to get by, and that's what got him over even from college, because he has that athleticism. But as far as pass rushing moves, he lacks there. So Aziz, that you mentioned, he's the natural pass rusher. He has the pass rushing moves. So learn from each other. I don't care. But Kayvon Thibodeau, you need to learn some pass rushing moves. And I think he definitely did, and we're gonna see more sacks from him this year. But and just to finish it off real quick, one of the main things that made us what we was 2007, 2011 Super Bowl years was that we had the NASCAR pass rushing package, where you ain't just have two pass rushers coming at you and you like, oh, okay, I gotta deal with him and him. No. You got about 4 or 5 guys in rotation that you gotta worry about. And it's the same here now. When you got Kayvon, you got Aziz, I can't remember the other one, but Boogie Basham is really the one that I'm trying to really put out there. Boogie Basham from Buffalo that we traded for, like that is crazy, bro. That is crazy. Like so, the rotation in the pass rush is gonna be nasty, but yes, I believe this is the best defensive line in the league.
Yeah, and I think that that battle. So you know, when the Giants defense is on the field and when the Cowboys offense is on the field, like that's going to be can they stop us, right? And it's gonna come down to me. The game pretty much is going to come down to Giants defensive line, Cowboys offensive line. It's going to be that battle because if the Giants can slow the Cowboys down offensively, well then the Giants can continue to run the ball, right? And I mean we know that's the weakness of the Cowboys defense, right? But like as soon as if you let the Cowboys get up and they know that you have to throw the ball, it's pretty much over.
It's over. It's
over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yep.
So like it's gonna come down to that Giants defensive line and that battle with the Cowboys offensive line right there. Like that's gonna be the game. The Giants can keep it close, can shut down the Cowboys run game, can get to Dak, and like that's the battle to keep your eye on.
You know, it's fun. It's funny that I was that was my transitioning point, and Tom jumped right into it. Kind of like our final predictions for the game. He gave his, I'll give mine, and then Shakes, you can give yours real quick. As we're going to the end of the program. Definitely.
Can I say this real quick, though? I say this real quick? I'm not going to take long with it. You said the position battle with it, and a battle to look out for, but I think the X Factor battle would be y'all wide receivers versus our DBs. Like, can our DBs contain y'all wide receivers? Because you got Cooks, you got Gallup, and of course you got Lamb, and they're gonna give the two rookie starting quarterbacks some work. All right, we got to see what's going on with Jason Pinnock out there. You know, even though he had a strong camp and a strong preseason, we got to see if he can really hold his own out there. So it's going to be the wide receivers versus the DBs in my head and my eyes. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But I just needed to say that. My bad, Mark. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You actually, y'all both are stealing my thunder. Y'all are jumping on me, jumping on my take. But the final take, the final score, to me, 28-14, Cowboys. I think it's gonna be hard fought. It's gonna be like, 17-14 going into the fourth quarter. Cowboys will get a late touchdown, probably a late touchdown. It's going to end up that way. One thing y'all are not mentioning, and you guys did a great job on detailing the Giants roster. Something that concerns me is now you don't just have Kayvon Thibodeau and that's it, one side coming. You also have Isaiah Simmons, who y'all just picked up, coming from the Cardinals, who's coming on the other side. So, we're definitely going to have to get rid of the ball. We're going to have to get rid of the ball fast. And you said, that's why I said you're on my thunder. I think we have the position where we can take advantage of you guys is the safeties. We can really get on top of Xavier McKinney, and we can really use Jason Pinnock. I think, both of those two guys, if they have a stellar game, it could be a flip. It could definitely be a flip to where it ends up being something different. You know what I mean? It could be a flip where it ends up being something different. So that's my take on the game, man. And definitely I'll let you finish it out before we end the program.
No doubt. So for me, I'm going 31-24 Giants. Yeah, that's right. I just think that it's going to be a little shootout, and I think we're gonna come out surprising a lot of people on like explosive plays. Right? I feel like we're gonna have explosive plays that people are not expecting from us. But 31-24, I think the X factor would happen to become the rookie Jalen Hyatt, who we definitely mentioned earlier. But I just see him catching a 40 or 50-yard bomb, and it's going to be dividend to this win that we're going to go ahead and finally get on Dallas. And y'all gotta come to New Jersey this time. We ain't gotta go over there in Texas. No, like every year we gotta go to Texas. Every year in Texas. No, no, y'all gotta come over here now. It's a different story. It's different.
I mean, I get it. We're 10. Dak is 10-2 against the Giants. I mean, he
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much got to our baby picture. So, definitely I get it. But
It's
man,
been civil. We have been completely civil up to this point, and then you're talking about Dak having the baby picture. Like, come on, man.
I was just saying,
Hey,
you know,
Mark. And now, Mark, real quick. I don't know. I don't know. You're a big dude, so you don't look like you was bullied much when you were younger. But if you ever had been bullied, right? Ever had been bullied, and you know that feeling where you just keep on getting picked on and keep on getting beat up, and he keeps on messing with you every time you come around. You're gonna get tired of it, man. You're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna fight back. I gotta fight back. The Giants has to fight back.
we hope
We
so.
can't let y'all keep bullying us, man.
Yeah,
It's a different. It's a different Giant squad too. I mean,
yeah, no, it is. I agree with everything that I. This is not going to be an easy win. It will not. I just want to say this because this has been my hot take, and Cowboys fans, yeah, they're not gonna get on me for this, but I'm gonna tell you something. Because I mean, I dislike the Giants. The Giants is my real. That's the real rivalry of the Cowboys. It really is. The Giants, the Cowboys. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying it before anybody else's season starts. I'm saying it. The Giants will be second in this division behind the Cowboys. The Giants defense is gonna start. I predicting right now the Giants take 2 from Philadelphia. Right now, right now, but this defense is way better than it was last year, and I don't think that Philadelphia is gonna be able to stop the 1-2 that you're gonna have from Jalen Hyatt and Saquon Barkley, and then I think you're gonna see Danny Dimes start using that tight end a lot more, and it's gonna save his life. So I think honestly, it'll be the Giants and the Cowboys coming out of this division, not the Giants and the Eagles. That's my bold prediction. Tom, I'm gonna let you get a bold prediction. Shakes, before we get out of here, I really want you to just tell people where they can find you on social media and everything. So, Tom, your bold prediction.
I'm going to say 30-17, and I don't mean any disrespect to the Giants. Like I just think the Cowboys have all the pieces in place this year, and I think I'm not predicting that they're going to walk to the Super Bowl or anything like that. I'm not going to disrespect the rest of the league like that. I mean, there's a lot of really good teams, but I just feel like it's pretty much it's just a matter of health that's going to keep this team from winning 12, 13 games. And this is the first game of the season, so I mean, pretty much everybody's healthy, and so I don't think that the Giants' offensive line is going to be able to stand up to the pass rush. I think they're going to have a really difficult time doing pretty much anything. So yeah, 30, and I think that the Cowboys' offense is going to look a lot different this year. Adding Brandon Cooks. I think the offensive line is improved since last year. I think it's a better offense. So I think they're going to be able to score points. So yeah, 30-17. But I will say for the Giants, I mean, again, I know I said it a minute ago, but this is not the Giants of of past years. I think maybe they overachieved a little bit last year, and maybe they're still like 1 year away. One draft class, one free agency class. But I feel like that they have their quarterback. I think there are a lot of people that kind of had their minds changed on him last year, but I still think that he's underrated. By pretty much any measure, in particular the advanced stuff, the advanced metrics. Like he's a fringe top 10 guy, and that's with pretty much nobody to throw the ball to last year. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect the wide receiver group, but
No,
I
no.
mean, he had a really good year without really a lot of guys to throw the ball to. And I think adding Jalen Hyatt, adding Darren Waller, Saquon being Saquon, like, I mean, I think it's a team getting ready to make the leap, but I'm not sure that they do it this year. I still think Philadelphia and Dallas are kind of the class of the NFC East, but the Giants are not going to be an easy out, particularly whenever we get around the middle of the season. But yeah, 30-17. That's what I'm going with.
Shakes, give us your social media, man. Tell us, where you can be found at, man, and definitely what you're doing.
Okay, thank you. So first off, let me give out my social media as far as Twitter and Facebook. Twitter at Shakes NYG. Facebook Shakes Montana. All right. Now I'm gonna give y'all my shows here. All right. So my YouTube, please like and subscribe. YouTube channel, the Shakedown Media Network. Um, and now on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast, I'm on there now. I'm on there now. All right. New York Giants shakes it up. Fans First Sports Network, man. I'm here. It's on. Definitely give me a tune. Like I said, New York Giants shakes it up on Spotify or iTunes. Please check me out. Look out for that. Look out for episodes. I got two of them up there now from this weekend. I'm gonna drop another one today, so y'all definitely stay tuned with that. And I also have a wrestling show coming out as well on Fans First Sports Network called Shakes Too Sweet Wrestling Podcast. So yeah, man, a lot of work, man, a lot of work. But that will be on all streaming platforms as well. Please look out for your boy.
Got you, Shakes. So you said the Shakedown Network on YouTube.
Shakedown Media Network, yes.
Shakedown Media Network. Definitely look for that here once we put this up on YouTube. And we appreciate you for being a part of it, man. For myself, for Tom, and for Shakes, man, we going to get out of here. We'll holler at you guys. Peace.
Good night.